All right, Friday, June 29th. I don't even think I took a video yesterday, but yeah, look at this. This corn is stellar, absolutely stellar. There's a horse farm here, and they kind of spread their horse manure right out in this area, but most of the corn's about fender height. This has got about another foot on it where there's horse manure, but I thought I'd show you guys what they're doing here. The corn gets rubbed right under the tractor, but it's popping back nicely, so this is getting to that point where it's probably too tall. Ooh, sneak back here, show you guys what these Y drops are. Sneak through this dead row here where something got, I think when it was spraying the corn, this might have got pinched. I'm right up on the headlands here, but so you can see it here, maybe. Ugh, let me fight my way down here. You can see the stalks, they're getting rubbed down on both sides with the hoses, and you can see it pooled up because I stopped for a second, but it's drying up fast. It's 110 degrees, heat index about 100 air temp. So you can maybe see it nicely here where the planter skipped for a second, maybe, maybe not. But there's a trail right where you want it. And that's what Y dropping is, but the corn gets a little shorter just right about there, but it's pretty stellar through the whole works. Where it's dark green, you know, it's doing pretty well in terms of nitrogen when it stays dark green. And then you can see like some of the lower areas where water sat and starved the corn of nitrogen for a little bit while it was raining so much. It gets a yellowish tint or a lighter green tint right there. This bounces it back so fast that I was out Y dropping yesterday, and I went by the field today, and it looked stellar. It was already back to dark green. I mean, it not like dark green, but you could see that it was already getting back. But I'm 6'2". Yeah, it's pretty tall, but I'll show you what we're doing. We're getting to that point where, you know, it's supposed to rain pretty good severe tomorrow, so we're trying to do as much as we can. Mother Nature forced our hand. Ideally we would have done this earlier, but it is what it is. So that's going to beep at us for just a quick second. 3 right there. You do run some down on the headlands, but the risk, or you know, it's kind of a risk versus benefits thing. But you can see we're right away from the horse pasture here, or the horse pen where they spread the horse manure, and we're back down into like normal fender sized corn. This is what most of it looks like, but you can see some of this is starved. There's like a water, not a waterway, but water sits and kind of slowly works its way across here. But things are still going well. Can't get another semi today. They're gonna bring it tomorrow morning, but I have to go to a wedding rehearsal tonight, and I'm in a wedding tomorrow, so I will not be able to Y drop tomorrow. It's supposed to start raining in the afternoon, possibly even tonight. So the acre counter, if it's working about the right ways, 576.3. I think we started with it set around 50, or no, I can't remember. I've probably done about 500 acres so far in the last 3 days, and it's about lunchtime right now, a little after, about 2 o'clock on Friday. So I've had some pretty big days. Yesterday I went, and day before was even bigger yet. But I've done 3 semi-loads at 4,300 gallons a crack, so 12,000 plus, you know, I've done about 13,500 plus 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 plus we had 1,500 or 1,000 the way the semi-loads came from planting season. Well, it was delivered during planting season, but it didn't get used. But the trucks come with 4,300 gallons, if you understand what I'm saying, and that was left over. So I've done about probably 15,000 gallons of this stuff in the last 3 days. And you know, with the big time heat today like it is, along with along with across through that little wet spot there. The big time heat, along with so you know, the ground, even though it hasn't rained in 3, 4, 5 days, 5 days probably, it is so saturated out here in some of the fields that it's, you still wouldn't believe it. You'd still think it rained this morning. But I'll tell you what, I think I've said it, but I'll say it again. We would not have made it across half the acres, probably. Maybe even, I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I would have had to turn around in the middle of the field instead of cut through some of the wet spots. This front wheel assist pulls you through some gnarly stuff. It's going well, and it's all thanks to this tractor. So yep, I'm glad I'm doing this today, because I had it with the heat today and the rain tomorrow. This would have been it. There's no more coming back in this field. You can see up here it is really tall. It is bouncing back though behind me, believe it or not. But 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then one more. Those guys with the self-propelled, I mean, they're probably just getting going in corn like this, but with the ground clearance we have, this is about maximum right here. So that's why I've made such a push, and that's why there hasn't been videos, is because I literally have been going for 12 to 15 hours. Well, 13. I've had a 15-hour day, then I had a 13-hour day yesterday, went home, fed the cows, and did some stuff out in our shed. So I've been like going, work, sleep. So that's why there hasn't been videos, but obviously you're watching them now, so I was taking a couple here and there. I think I've only taken like 2.5, but yeah, so that's why dropping in a nutshell, you guys. It goes fast. I've got my pressure bumped up to about 35 pounds, so I can go about 6 miles an hour. They recommend on their website 5 to 12, but I think with a pull type sprayer like we got here, I think that 6 miles an hour is pretty respectable. You get going much faster than that, excuse me, and you know, the sprayer starts acting goofy and not following you correctly, and but I think it's going pretty darn well. But the guy that we bought these from said, yeah, I go 12 miles an hour with my self-propelled. And I'm trying to even imagine going 12 miles an hour with this. But if you ran guidance, maybe. But we maybe could run guidance, but I'm doing 17 rows at a time, and the planter is 12 rows at a time. So if the planter's ever off or if the guidance was ever just off just a little bit, just with the natural rotation of the earth, this is not like the, I don't know what John Deere's iTech and SF1, SFS, you know, SF2 or whatever. I'm not entirely sure on how that works, but I do know that this is not the I don't want to say it, the super exact model. So if the planter was off just a little bit, you would not run down the rows correctly. So I find it easier just to steer myself, but that's what's nice about the Y drops. Planter skipped. With the Y drops, they're flexible. So I can try and throw them out. 1, 2, 3. They're flexible, right? So you, if you're off on that odd row on one side, they flex. They have a cable in the middle of them. If you can see like the spring or whatever, they flex so that they can run down those odd rows nicely. Where if you had a coulter or a knife machine doing this, you would tear up some corn. So that's another reason I think, and there's an odd row right there, so I'm just going to jump over one row, because the sprayer tires are narrower than the tractor tires. But that is a huge advantage of the Y-drop machines, because you'd be tearing up some major corn with a coulter or knife machine. So for us, that's why you know, we like the Y-drop machines. I don't know that there's a knife or a coulter machine that you can do it when the corn's this tall, and we do like to wait until the corn is this tall. So really can't complain with the products we've gotten from 360 Yield Center. We've got this. We've got some stuff on the planter from them for applying nitrogen, and well, that's from a Getter company, but it's a similar concept, along with some other planter attachments. And then we've also started using their ripper shanks, their bullet points. So solid company, and they're actually a pretty good one to listen to on YouTube too. I forget the guy's name. I want to say it's like Greg or something, but I can't remember. But he's really good to listen to. They got a couple guys that talk on there, but really good information, and it's solid stuff to listen to. But I'll leave you with this, guys. This is potentially, if it doesn't rain too much, and he's going to go out and do some tomorrow, possibly. He should be done spraying beans first time over today. But if it doesn't rain too much, I'm going to come out Monday and Tuesday afternoon before work, and then I'm going to go up north on the 4th, which is this coming Wednesday. So ideally we'll have all this done before the 4th, but if it rains too much and we got to wait, so be it. The last 100 acres is a little on the short side yet, because that was the last field we planted, or one of the last. So it won't look like this, but it might look like this by the time we get to it if it rains a bunch. And 2 other fields. So we've got 100 plus. We've got somewhere in like the 220, 220, 210 left. So we've done very well this week between spraying the beans and getting on this rig and getting everything accomplished that we wanted to. So can't complain. Mother Nature finally cooperated with us in terms of not raining. It still is mucky, it's a little slick in the field in spots, but hey, we're making it work, and we're not making a mess doing it, and we're doing good stuff to the corn. So the little bit of stuff you run down on the headlands, this boost of nitrogen will give us so much, in a perfect world, or how they say it, will give us that corn back and then some. So that's why it's worth coming out here and running some down. Some people might be like, holy smokes, what are you doing? But I just encourage you to check out their videos, check out the concept and the benefits in these systems. So check it out. We like it, and hopefully it's something that maybe fits into your operation too. But with that, I'm going to cut this one. So have a good night, be safe, and we'll check you guys later.